Fixed index products have evolved over the last few years to be particularly useful in protecting and growing assets while offering an opportunity to develop a lifetime income stream. Joining me is John Becker with Exact Wealth in Centennial, Colorado. And John, welcome back. Many investors took a beating in the market in 2022. How do these products help in this situation?
Scott, such a great question, and thanks again for having me. We're battling a lot of challenges today, the market being one of them. So imagine you're close to retiring, maybe 5, 6, 7 years out. Maybe you're on the doorsteps of retiring, and unfortunately, you've opened up your statements and you see these negative balances. And there's really not much we can really do, right? We're at the mercy of a lot of factors that are going on globally that are affecting the markets today. An indexed annuity is a solution that is really geared for a couple things. The first one is primarily is asset protection, okay? Most of these plans have zero floor. You can never lose any money if the indices are negative, okay? There could be years where you don't make anything, but it's probably better if, again, like making 0 or negative 20, right? Especially when you're on the doorstep towards retirement. The window of opportunity today, Scott, is that a lot of the participation rates are a lot higher than they are when the market is doing well. So for example, typically in an indexed annuity, you're going to see a cap, you're going to see a participation rate. So participation rate, again, just simply means how much of the gains do I get in my plan. So a couple years ago, we were seeing maybe 85% participation, 90% participation, and that's great for a conservative or moderate conservative investor that says, I don't want to lose any money and I'm willing to only get 85% of the growth every year, okay? That's a great trade-off for a lot of people. Maybe not for a 30-year-old, but for a 47, a 55, a 6-year-old, it's something to consider, right? Because typically, as you get closer to retirement, we have to look at your portfolio and we have to remove some of the aggressive nature out of it, right? So you have money to survive on. Today, because things are upside down in the market, there's a window of opportunity where now we're seeing higher participation rates, 130%, 140%, that you could, again, if it returns 10, 12, 15, right, you multiply that by 130%, that's a pretty good return. Typically, we know that after a recession, and I'm not suggesting we're going to go into one, but that's all the rumblings from smarter people than myself. Typically, we're going to see double-digit returns after a recession, whether it's in year 1 or year 2. So a great way to keep your money safe and secure, weather the storm, knowing that at some point we're going to see a massive opportunity for growth in those plans.
Now, I think the obvious question here is why haven't consumers heard about these strategies before?
Typically, I mean, annuities have had a bad rap. Let's just be honest, just throw it out there, Scott. It's a great question because, you know, when I bring up annuities or I have in the past, you know, clients will say, yeah, I've heard bad things, and it could be because their parents had one or someone they knew had one and they couldn't get all their money out, or maybe they didn't understand the purpose of them. Okay, so a lot of people just stayed away from annuities for that reason. A lot of advisors also didn't consider fixed index annuities as even a strategy or an option for someone's portfolio. Typically, it was bonds. Well, we know what happened with bonds last year, right? I think it was like negative 14 or 15%. And so there has been a shift, Scott, where a lot of advisors have now looked at a fixed index annuity solution for the fixed income portion of someone's portfolio. So we are starting to see some more movement with this, Scott, and it definitely is. I mean, consider like all these insurance companies, right, that have higher participation rates, a zero floor, some have zero fees. It's becoming more and more of an attractive conversation for the consumer today.
That's John Becker with Exact Wealth in Centennial, Colorado, and this is Retirement News Online.